Alright, so I'm going to be talking about controls for The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Alright, so first off, I'm going to say that this game is mostly motion controlled, so if you don't have a Wii Motion Plus little attachment bar thingy for the bottom part, you're either going to want the remote or that little attachment before you even try starting to play this game at all. So, just making sure you have one of those. Alright, it's also a nunchuck and Wii Remote game, so you're going to want both of those things as well, which you should get a nunchuck when you buy the Wii itself, so... Anyways, on we go. So, the starting with the nunchuck, we're going to start with the control stick, and that's how you move your character. And then if you like run off a ledge or whatever, he'll do an auto jump. The C button is how you look around and how you do your dowsing. Dowsing is basically when you press the C button, you hold it down, and then you get this little lineup of things, and you just go to the one that you want with the Wii Remote, and then you basically select that by just getting off of it, kind of a thing. It's really hard to explain. I'll have a little visual of it, but other than that, it's really simple to do, and it's not that hard. Z button is targeting, so basically you click the C button, excuse me, not the C, the Z button when you want to look at stuff, and once you've targeted it, basically you can either attack it or press A, which is like the examine button, but I'll get into that in just a little bit, or you can just like target it and then use Phi, which I will talk about in just a second. Alright, so now onto the Wii Remote. So the D-pad is not really used in this game. The up and the down are used actually for a couple of different things. I won't explain what up is used for because we'll learn what that's used for later, and I'll be able to explain it then. But down is actually used to call Phi, and you will learn who Phi is later. I'm not going to try and spoil too much, but what she can say is a little bit helpful in some points. Alright, the A button is basically the basic button for Legend of Zelda. It's used for running. If you hold it down, you can dash, and then that's when you have to watch out for the little stamina gauge. You can talk to people, you can examine things, you can pick up items, put them away, drop items, a whole bunch of series of things. So basically, if it says down on the bottom, press A, that is an A button thing you do with it. So. Pressing plus will show you the map, and that is actually going to be used in this. Actually, it is used in this episode because of the Pippet telling you where to need to go on the water to the waterfall or whatever on the map. All right, so then the minus button is something we'll see in a little bit later. You get some extra tools later, and it's called the equipment pouch. That'll be explained in the third episode, so it'll be the next episode if you're watching this from the second episode. And then 2 will be to view instructions. Basically, if you're stuck, you're flying around Skyloft or whatever, and you don't remember the controls for flying your Loftwing, you can press 2. That would tell you how to fly your Loftwing. If you're walking around someplace, you can press 2 and get that. I believe there's one other time it tells you what you can do by pressing the 2 button. I usually don't use the 2 button, but in case you're stuck with something, you can just click that and it'll tell you different movements and stuff you can do. The 1 button is view your gear. So basically, I showed this off. I believe I show it off in this episode. By pressing the 1 button, you can see your sword, some collectibles that you can get, and then there's a whole bunch of array of things that you can get in that one. And that one's actually really good. Or useful, not good, it's useful. The B button is the select/ready item. So, that will also be explained a lot later, or like more in-depthly explained, I should say, later. Basically, you get items, like in every Legend of Zelda game, you get certain items that are very useful, and that one will, well, it'll be used with the B button, so the B button will be the main important thing for those items. Alright, so a lot of the things in this game, I'm going to just be doing a little monologue rant, I guess, about the different things you can do with the sweeping of the nunchuck and the controller itself, the Wii Remote. So basically, first off, your sword is like basically swinging. So there's like nothing else that your sword is like does. It's pretty much your sword is your Wii Remote, which is the awesomest thing ever. So basically, what it is you can do horizontal strikes, vertical strikes. You can do diagonal strikes, and actually in the little practice room, there's a bunch of those different kind of strikes. You can do a stab, which is actually very useful for a lot of future boss fights and stuff like that. you can do a spin attack, like in most Legend of Zelda games, by shaking both the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. If you shake them horizontally, you'll do a horizontal one. If you shake them vertically, you'll do a vertical one. It's kind of interesting that they added that vertical one in there. You can also do what's called a critical strike, which is basically if you're targeted on an item and it falls over after you've slashed it. So this is mostly used for bad guys. So if, say a bad guy takes more than one hit, but you counterattack him with your shield by pushing the nunchuck forward. If they fall over, you can slash them, and then if they fall on their back, you can shake both the Wii Remote and nunchuck at the same time if you're still targeted on them, and then you'll land on them and do a critical strike. So that's pretty cool. Like I just said, the nunchuck is used for the shield. So just like your sword is your Wii Remote, your shield is your nunchuck. So basically what that does is if you jiggle the nunchuck a little bit, the shield will be popped out in front of Link. Basically what you have to watch out for with this is you have to make sure that you counter attack attacks well. If you don't, it'll be a problem because you'll lose stamina on your shield. So you want to make sure you counterattack them right. And how you do that is if an object is flying at you and you have your shield out, you want to jiggle it just before the item hits your shield, and you will have counterattacked correctly. If you pull out your sword instead of the shield, sometimes you can hit things back with the sword, which is really nice. I think getting the timing on it is a little bit harder. If you don't counterattack, it'll just hit you, and no damage will be done to your shield if you have your sword out in front of you. But if you don't counterattack it with the shield appropriately, Link will get knocked back just a tad, but his shield will have some problems with it. But that's about it. I don't think there's a whole lot else that needs to be going over. There is the home button. You guys should know what the home button does if you've played Wii games. Basically just gets back to the home menu. I'm not going to be using that on screen, at least in the game. And then there's the power button for turning off your Wii or Wii U or whatever you're using. I'm actually doing this on a Wii U, so if you guys are doing it on a Wii U also, you will have to buy a remote and nunchuck separately. And I don't think they sell regular remotes anymore, like without the Wii Motion Plus. It should be with just the Wii Motion Plus. So, anyways, I believe that is all. If there's anything I've missed, I'll try and go over it in gameplay. So, hope you guys enjoy this LP. See you guys in the next episode.